It is the Oscar rally call that everybody is talking about today. Actress Patricia Arquette talking about income inequality during her acceptance speech at the Academy Awards.
To every woman who gave birth, to every taxpayer and citizen of this nation, we have fought for everybody else's equal rights. It's our time to have wage equality once and for all, and equal rights for women in the United States of America.
Lots of applause, but what is Hollywood doing to lead the way? Hollywood for years has been accused of paying women and people of color substantially less than men and whites. Let's bring in Kay Steiger. She is senior editor at ThinkProgress from Washington, D.C. Kay, good afternoon to you.
Thanks for having me.
When Patricia Arquette was talking, she was clearly speaking to the nation, but was she also really directing her attention at those in the audience, the heads of the studios?
Yeah, I think she definitely took the opportunity that she had a captive audience of not only millions of viewers at home who maybe don't think about wage inequality every day, and of course, powerful industry executives in Hollywood who, you know, she took that opportunity to talk about wage inequality, if not in the most eloquent way, as we saw with her backstage remarks after the fact.
Yeah. Afterwards, I think she had basically her speech during the show getting high accolades. Afterwards, she may have gone off script a little bit, saying that it's time that people of color and gay people get behind women, that the women had backed them up for years, and she's getting a little bit of heat on that. But how big of an issue is this really right now in Hollywood across the spectrum? So you certainly have millionaire actors and actresses being paid differently, but when you go down the line, is there a big pay gap?
Yeah, I mean, I think the important thing to think about, although Patricia Arquette may have pitted this as women against people of color, although there's plenty of women of color, and you know, gay people, plenty of gay women out there. You know, gender pay gaps exist in almost every industry at almost any level, and I think that's what's really important to understand about this, is that it doesn't matter if you're an executive at a company or a low-wage worker working at McDonald's or whatever it might be, but that systemically we see these gender pay gaps happen across the board.
And you certainly saw during the Sony hacking scandal that executives have disdain for many of their female counterparts.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that the key thing here that's missing is transparency. Women can't ask for more money if they don't know that they're being paid less. And I think we saw that when Charlize Theron asked for a $10 million pay raise from her bosses when she saw that Chris Hemsworth was being paid more.
Okay, how do you define pay inequality, though? Because obviously there's the argument that women spend less time in the workforce. They take more time off. They raise families. Should that get factored in?
Yeah, but absolutely there are variations in how people participate in the workforce. But even when you control for all those factors, there's a study that came out a few years ago that said even when you control for all those factors, you still see these pay gaps occur at every level of the profession. For some women who graduate from college, they start to see it almost immediately.
President Obama in 2009 signed the Lilly Ledbetter Equal Pay Act. How have we done since then? Is the federal government enforcing it?
Yeah, I mean, I think the Obama administration is doing what it can to enforce pay inequality. But again, there are very few protections for workers to force their employers to reveal exactly how much they're getting paid in comparison to their male coworkers. And many employers, whether they're supposed to or not, actually threaten their employees and say, you know, you can't talk about how much you're getting paid with your colleagues. And I think that is something that if Congress could pass greater protections to outlaw that kind of policy among employers, we'd actually see women being able to ask, you know, how much are you getting paid? You know, they'd be able to ask how much someone with a similar level of experience.
We only have 30 seconds left, and I'm just wondering if you find when women are the bosses, is the problem just as big?
Yeah, I mean, I don't necessarily think that women are immune from the same pressures that other executives face. Ultimately, employers try to get the best deal they can out of their employees, but unfortunately, we've seen that that's bad for women across the board.
Okay, Kay Steiger, senior editor at ThinkProgress from Washington, D.C. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And tomorrow on Arise Exchange, how cash is being funneled into terror groups and how we can stop it. Let's take a look at the markets once again. The Dow and S&P 500 pulling back from record days on Friday. The NASDAQ up about 5 and change. I'm Andrew Schmertz. Thanks for watching Arise Exchange. We'll see you tomorrow.